Welcome to NKTelco Sports. We're here at SIDNEY High School where tonight the Tippecanoe Red Devils take on the SIDNEY Yellow Jackets. Tonight's game is sponsored by the Minster Bank, Schwederman Pharmacy, Keyhole Pizza, New Knoxville Supply, Minster Dental Care, Hometown Opportunity, Francis Furniture, Wilson Health, Precision Strip, Winners Quality Meats, NKTelco, NKT.TV, BowlerStore.com, CarriageWorks, Cy Schwederman Incorporated, Fowler's TV, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, PSG Automotive Outfitters, and the First National Bank. Get a look here inside at SIDNEY High School where the Yellow Jackets come in at 11-5 on the year to take on the 14-2 Tippecanoe Red Devils. Second time these teams have met. SIDNEY beat Tip back on August the 21st in 3 sets, but they have to try to do that again here. Good crowd on hand. It's homecoming week here in SIDNEY. You see the football team after the parade across the way, and we take a look to start off here with our keys to the game for tonight, brought to you by Keyhole Pizza. For Tippecanoe, they want to reduce their unforced errors. One big thing that their coaching staff talked about the last time around, 47 total points SIDNEY scored on 30 errors, or 64% of their points. And the other one is, it's pretty easy. You look at Ariel Snyder, the senior middle hitter, 7th in the G-Walk in kills. Try to limit the amount of swings that she gets up close to the net because she can be a lethal force if she gets going. On to the other side of the Keyhole Pizza keys to the game for the Yellow Jackets, they want to minimize their serving errors. That was a big thing for them the last time around. No mental mistakes as part of that too, and they want to hustle. One thing that Coach Morrow talked about, Tippecanoe is taller than us, so what we lack in height we have to make up for in hustle. We'll see if her team is able to do that when we come back here for the first serve on NKTelco Sports.
Minster Dental Care continues to offer advanced dental technology in a state-of-the-art facility. Our professional team offers experience in general dentistry and orthodontics, including services such as CEREC and wireline orthodontics. Board-certified pediatric dentist Dr. Philip Slonkowski ensures our littlest patients have a positive, safe, and a comfortable experience. We are unconditionally committed to excellence in everything we do.
The big game is right around the corner. Are you ready for it? Come into Francis Furniture and find the right fit for you and your friends in our Lazy Boy Comfort Studio. With Lazy Boy Premier Sofa and Sectionals, you can custom order a look that's just your style. Choose from hundreds of decorator fabrics or choose genuine leather for its luxurious feel and durability. Come into Francis Furniture today, the area's only Lazy Boy Comfort Studio.
At Wilson Health, we're extending care beyond the walls of the hospital, with resources designed to keep you in charge of your health.
Our independence and connection to the community are unique in a world where big healthcare strives to act like corporations.
Our tools may be the same, but we are different.
We're neighbors, friends, and family who truly care about the people who live here.
We call it caring without limits, and it's just the beginning of a whole new Wilson Health.
Back here inside SIDNEY High School as we get ready to see the second matchup between the Yellow Jackets and the Tippecanoe Red Devils. First matchup actually won by Tip, 3-0. I said it backwards the last time around. Tip has won the last 5 in this series, including 4 of those by a 3-0 margin. They will look to try to do that here. They've got a couple of record breakers on their team, including Izzy Crow, broke the school's all-time assist record back on September the 5th with a 32 assist performance, now over 1,700 coming out of that 4-set win against Butler. See Abby Hughes, the libero on the left side for Tip with the red jersey, ready to get this game started. It's homecoming week here for SIDNEY and the raucous student section across the way. as the double white jerseys ready to go. Football team tomorrow sitting at 3-2, take on their rival in Piqua, so they're fired up. They had the homecoming parade, and now the ball put into play as Sidney now waits for the first return. Down to the floor, back into the net, nearly stopped by the point goes to the sophomore and Corinne Seifring for tip. So they take the 1-0 lead right out of the gate. And that has been their MO, get up on teams early. Coming off a 3-set win over West Carrollton a couple of nights ago. That is their 10th straight win. Ball returned here just short. Good dig out by Elena Tidley. Now the ball way across. Two players converge. Sidney back with that point. That's just a miscommunication we saw in the keys to the game, brought to you by Keyhole Pizza. You want to play fast, but you want to play under control. As we get the first tie at 1-1. Ball up in the air now, out of that long middle row. Brooke Oslodge with the point. As you get a look at the Winners Quality Meats replay, watch how far she comes across. Realizes nobody was going to be on that corner and drops it just in front of the line for a 2-1 Tip lead. Tip doing the services as it's sent back out of the middle row. Now up at the net looking for the double block. Once at Tippecanoe, it keeps them up there for a second. Oslodge again just floats one that quickly. Right through a couple of hands. Hitley again, and the kill attempt fought off by Sidney. Doing a terrific job there is Peyton Boshears, 284 digs a year ago. And another block. You can feel the crowd. They are hype over in the student section. And the dump into the corner for Elena Kindle, the senior. Take a look at this replay. Watch her draw everybody to the left on this back set, and then just right inside. So now tied at 2 on the First National Bank scoreboard. Second tie. Up the net, Sidney with a lot of energy trying to utilize that. Faith Bockrath in the middle row now. Let's back up across. Here comes the fight off again. Bosher is the senior who leads her team in aces. But the double hit gets the set of boos from the Sidney student section across the way. 3-2 Tip now here in set one. Ball rocketed across out of the serve and the push off the block. Terrific play by Ariel Snyder. She was the one that was pointed out in the keys to the game. You see that replay by Coach Garcia, not being able to let her get a lot of points and opportunities. She made the most of it there as we're tied now at 3 in set one. Big right side hit fought off from the back row. Sidney comes back. There she is again in Miss Snyder. The middle hitter able to put some finesse onto that one. On the gate, she'll go the opposite way. And the cut shot from Abby Nuss puts an opportunity to look at this replay. Down to the floor. The Yellow Jackets pull ahead at 4-3 now, their first lead. Trying to keep it that way and add to it. Snyder back up the net, her shot blocked, and for every point, there's a point on the other side. As another look at the Winners Quality Meats replay. The double block came down. She didn't have anybody to run up there with her. And already the fourth tie through the first 8 points. Tip will serve from Isabella Crow. First team G-Walk selection as a junior last year. But here's the kill. And Snyder, she's fun to watch. Watch how this is set up perfectly for her off the back set with that big left hand. Just swings one across and down for a 5-4 lead. 10th in the G-Walk and aces. She's up there in kills as well as Sidney with a 5-4 lead. Double block at the net. Comes down on the wrong side, though, for them. As the side out will put Brooke Oslage back to serve again. So the fifth tie. Brooke now with the service across. Back into the corner. Push back to her in the back row. Set across for the big swing of Corinne Seifring, the sophomore. And just behind the pin, Abby Nuss able to get it back out. But not without a little bit of questioning as the point goes to Tip. They lead 6-5. I was talking about where she was trying to hit that from as the service error gives the ball back quickly to Sydney. Whoever's had position has picked up a point, but really nobody's gone more than a point at a time. It's already 6 ties, and the double block doesn't work, falls down again. Watch the setup for this. 2 players come off to the right side. Snyder tried to get a hand on it. Unfortunately for her team, it fell the wrong way. So Tip with a 7-6 lead. The First National Bank scoreboard. First National Bank reminds you to think first. You don't have that luxury if you're in this game, though. Free ball back across by Osledge. Now up at the net. Tried to come back to her. I got it, says Abby Hughes, the junior. Punched back out, and the no-look tip across by Faith Bockrath. Osledge is not going to be able to hit one in. 7 ties now through the first 14 points. That is one way to hang into this one. Each team has forced half of those ties so far. That's almost the miss hit there for Bockrath. Block of the net comes down on the Sydney side. Sorry, it was Abby Nuss. As that play had an odd start to it to begin with. It's a high ball. Just sometimes you have it plinko right off of you and down to the floor. 8-7 the lead for Tip. They've only trailed twice so far. It's blocked at the net. Don't know that Bockrath saw it immediately. Free ball back across, up and over the head. Osledge now up at the net, and the big hitter in Rachel Wildemuth. Just a sophomore as she picks this point up on the Winners Quality Meets replay. Watch how hard she hit that ball into the back row. There are so many superlatives to describe that young lady. First team American League last year as a freshman. She has got a host of big things about her as the double hit on the mistake there for Sydney. First time they are behind now by this many at 3. Be surprised if they don't take a timeout here before long. Lania Tinley back to serve. Another sophomore, a very young but experienced team for Tippecanoe. Coach Howard Garcia sees his squad pick up another point. They are rolling right now. Everything going their way. They weren't getting these points early, but the hard hit off the fist, off the double block, puts Tip on top 11-7. My favorite Coach Garcia quote, 25 years, 426 and 141, as Sydney is not happy about another point. They have had the student section argue with the chair official a couple of times already. And he said that one was out before it even had an opportunity. But his quote was, "I've been told that I was coaching when dinosaurs roamed the earth." It's a pretty good one. And back to Sydney. Up the net and up off the double block. So many points in this contest, as you get a look at another one on the replay, have come exactly this way. Try to fight off the double block, and look how high that jump was to make it 12-8. So Sydney's first point in the last 6 as they have the return, the service rather, go long, and the error puts Tip back on top by 5 at 13-8. So they have led since coming out of that 7-7. Coach Garcia with a degree in civil engineering from the University of Puerto Rico. Works down at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. Thought it was weird when his email back to me was encrypted. Now I know why. Block at the net, nearly into the seats. And just wasn't going to make its way back over there despite the hustle from Melania Titley for Tippecanoe. Sidney with the point. They pulled it within 13-9. Yellow Jackets will come the length of the floor on the service. Nearly the ace from Darian McBride, the sophomore. Ball returned long into the student section. Tip argued that it was touched. They got the head nod that said, nope, don't think so. 13-10. Dink at the net. Almost Isabella Crow just outsmarting everybody. Right up at the net. She has to see Tidley come back up to help her out. And the misfire from Corinne Seafring. Tip had everything that they could want on that play. They just weren't able to keep their momentum going. As the ball fired just over top of the net from McBride. Now back to her on the cut shot. Again, not high enough for Osledge. Tip has now reeled off 4 straight points, and they're within 1 at 13-12. These two teams met back in August, and again, it was Tippecanoe with the win. So they came out 25-11, 22-14 on their way to a 4-0 start. Ball up at the net, not high enough by Abby Nuss. It wasn't touched by anybody else, so the double hit and a 14-12 Tip lead now. Sidney off their 3-0 win at Trotwood Madison on a Tuesday night. Their 9th straight set win. They've beaten Fairborn, Stebbins, and Trotwood now 3-0 in 3 straight sets. So you see the 15th point on the board on the winners meet replay. That's just sheer power. The windup from Brooke Osledge and the 15-12 lead. I'm not trying to get in front of that. Up off the palm. Brooke now will see her team put it in play. Comes right back to her. Did she drop that in front of the line? Yes, she did. Take a look at this one on the replay and judge for yourself how close she was in that back corner. Just maybe half of the width of that ball. The good ones are able to do that. Down to the floor. A ball that seemed to stymie Elena Kindle. And there's the timeout. At 17-12 in set 1. Tippecanoe on top here on NKTelco Sports.
Our 1,500 square foot showroom and pro shop at bowlerstore.com is stocked with bowling balls, bags, shoes, accessories, and apparel. The pro shop is equipped with 2 drill presses, measuring devices, and bowling ball maintenance machines to keep your ball rolling great. We offer private lessons for individuals and groups. Moxie's Extra Pair inside bowlerstore.com is also available to rent for private events. Be sure to check out bowlerstore.com or visit our pro shop in Versailles, Ohio for all your bowling product needs.
17-12 out of the timeout with Tippecanoe on top. You see the unhappy student section not trying to have their Thursday night homecoming celebration ruined. They had a very long parade. And again, the football team is sitting at 3-2, taking on Piqua. They've got a board out in the hallway that will tell you everything that has happened between Sidney and Piqua. And Coach Adam Dunges would like to put football in his team's column for this year. Saw him earlier this year. A good team, but a young team. And their youthful exuberance on display, trying to help out their classmates. Up and down with a right hand. Bang. Ariel Snyder. Watch how quickly she's able to draw everybody out of place to her right and just smack one back down to the left. So 17-13 at Tip now. Sidney waits up on the return. Fought off out of the back row by Kindle. Punched across. That time the service came, or the return came from Nuss. And again, she and Kindle hook up to keep one in play. The double block. And nobody is more happy than Faith Bachroth and Ariel Snyder about this one. This is one that's normally kind of a game changer. Double block lands in bounds for the point on the winners Quality Meets replay. Now trying to add to that is Sidney, down 17-14. They made 3 terrific plays to keep it in, but just that quickly their momentum is stopped again by Izzy Crow. 19-14, the lead for Tip as they try to play out this first set. Is the first team all GWalk selection. Second team is a sophomore. A couple of years ago, misses on her serve. That is what both coaches have said they want to keep their girls from doing. Mental mistakes, about just giving the opponent time to breathe. Up at the net and in. Well, there's some people arguing about it. You can watch this and judge for yourself if Emily Graham was able to get it in for the Red Devils. They put the point on the board for Tippecanoe. I thought live that she might have missed it. The replay surely seems to support that. But the ace, it's not what you do, it's how you respond. Brooke Osledge now with the ace. She comes into the top 10 in kills and in the top 20 in digs. But right now it's her team's aces that are putting them on top at 20-15. Set up out of the back row. Brooke again skipped the top of the net. Dug out by Allie Herrick. Blocked at the net. And the point will go for Sydney on the double hit. I'm surprised they didn't chant, "You can't do that." It's just 3 hits and you're done. Tip clicking to the 4-point lead as they try to round out this first set. Big blow from left to right. Abby Nuss able to dig it out. And another mental mistake on the double hit. Elena Kindle is the one that seems most bothered by it. So 21-16. Tip has led since coming out of a 7-7 tie. That was the 7th tie. Every other point went for a tie. It's pretty much what we've got here. Another look at the replay will show this to you. 3 blockers at the net, but just sometimes the redirect. You're not able to follow it through where you want. Tip 21-17. Osledge set it up out of the back row. Here comes the big right hand. And again, consecutive points. This one's Corinne Seifring, the sophomore. 19th in kills this year in the GWalk. Spun it sideways off the 2 blockers for a 22-17 first set lead. 27th in blocks at 117, 19th in kills in the league is Corinne. Down to the floor, kind of a slow ball played across as the big hitter is dug out by Peyton Boshears. But another point for Tip and another timeout at 23-17. The Red Devils will try to finish off set 1 when we come back here on NKTelco Sports.
CarriageWorks has expanded and now can hold up to 25 cars in our service bay. CarriageWorks thrives on customer satisfaction. We accomplish that by providing top-of-the-line technology. CarriageWorks now uses a laser beam system to measure down to the millimeter of factory specs to better service you and get you back on the road. CarriageWorks has a brand new top-of-the-line paint booth that uses waterborne paint. There's no job too big or too small for CarriageWorks. We are certified collision specialists. Come in and see us today.
23-17 of the First National Bank scoreboard. First National Bank will remind you to think first. The ever-important first set. Tip 2 points away from closing it out. It has not been a first set without issues on both sides. Both teams have had issues with the couple of the calls. That's nearly into the hallway. Brooke Osledge able to get back to it. Up off the palm of Seifring, back to Sydney. Left to right it'll come, shoots into the corner. Goes Elena Kindle. Back to her, up off the hands. Backrath just punished that one as Kindle sends it across. Up at the net, down to the block. Rosiers made a nice job as it skims the, nearly hit the speaker up here. Out of bounds and now a match, or a set point. Trying to get the first set of this match. It'll be Elena Titley, the sophomore, who will do the serving across. Back set over, smashed up and down. And the point for Sidney will keep them alive as you get a look at this replay. Again, everybody drawn out of the middle. The back set, you have to have the two blockers rush over there. And they did not beat Darian McBride, the sophomore, to that spot. Tip on top, 24-18. Center of the net, blocked, turned sideways. Heck of a setup there. And underneath the net will go Isabel Crow. I believe that's going to end up being the reason for that call. Just her momentum carried her underneath. But even to get to that point, she made a nice set of plays. Crow dinks one over. The no-look variety ultimately for the set winner. So 25-19 in set one for Tip. We're back with set two in just moments here on NKTelco Sports.
Here's the thing. If you're the kind of guy who eats, sleeps, and breathes farming, who gets up at dawn, determined to get the best crop and the best yield, why surrender to the mercy of the water table? Cy Schwiederman Incorporated can lower your water table to an average of 2 to 3 feet below the surface, allowing you to grow stronger, healthier plants that root deeper, that are more resilient to the elements, that enable longer growing seasons, and can produce higher results in the fields and in your pocket. Trust CSI, your drainage experts since 1946.
Take your game day party to the next level with a new TV and Sonos sound system from Fowler's TV in St. Mary's. A Sonos sound system takes all the action into every room of your home and outdoors. Break your home into zones and control the content and level right from your phone or tablet, enabling you to enjoy the game, or not, with the touch of a finger. Add a security camera system connected to your TV from Fowler's, and never leave another friend stuck outside in the cold. Fowler's TV, taking game day to the next level.
Kogi Plumbing and Heating is your Bryant Factory authorized dealer. We have brought the best of comfort, control, and plumbing services to the St. Mary's area for over 60 years. We have been Reader's Choice winners for the last 4 years running and excel at providing our customers with efficient and reliable heating and air conditioning, as well as responsive service when a plumbing emergency arises. We insist that the products we install in our customers' homes and businesses offer the same performance and value that we expect ourselves. Call today for your next plumbing and heating or air conditioning needs. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Set number one in the books. Tip with a 25-19 win. They come in at 9-1 on the year in the G-Walk. The Rockets, or the Yellow Jackets, at 6-3. Tonight's game brought to you by the folks at Minster Dental Care, along with Francis Furniture and Wilson Health, to remind you about caring without limits. Also, Precision Strip at NKT.TV, BowlerStore.com, as well as Carriage Works, specializing in collision repair in St. Henry. I'll tell you the rest coming up here in just a second as the teams get their final instructions for set number two. And two coaches on different wavelengths. Tonight's game also brought to you by Cy Schwiederman, along with Fowler's TV, where we service what we sell. Kogi Plumbing and Heating, a name you know and a name you trust. PSG Automotive Outfitters, along with Minster Bank, who provide financial solutions for a lifetime. Hometown Opportunity helps connect local companies with local talent. Schwiederman Pharmacy, with pharmacies located in Salina, Coldwater, Minster, New Bremen, St. Mary's, and Wapakoneta, along with New Knoxville Supply. And the first point will go, I believe that's going to be the, I thought they were going to go net infraction. I think they're just going to play the point again. This might be a case of nobody was actually really ready. Tip will send a captain and Miss Crow over to get an explanation. Tonight's keys to the game are brought to you by Keyhole Pizza and our replays by Winners Meats. Quality meats for 90 years. Coming up when this one is done, we'll have our NKTelco player of the game and our First National Bank scoreboard. The folks of the First National Bank remind you to think first, and I believe that's the reason why we're getting a second run at the first point. Rachel Wildemuth, the sophomore, up and down on one quickly. Just off that return to give Tip a 1-0 lead. Wildemuth, first team American League last year. It's probably going to be a first-team GWalk pick this year with as well as she's playing. Double block at the net. Now a 2-0 lead as you see the replay. This is what Sydney talked about in their keys to the game about playing fast to try to negate the size disadvantage. As the ball dinked up off the net, nearly hit the flag. Emily Graham, the junior, able to dig it out. Ball put back across and off the tip. The Red Devils take a 3-0 lead. That ball came down and it hung up there. We sit way high above the press box, or above the floor rather, in the press box. And it hung up there for quite a bit, trust me. Set up again off to the right side. Not timed exactly perfectly for Emily Graham. You see another one up off the pass, just mistimed the jump on the way up. So 3-1 tip now. The ball nearly down to the floor off the service. Pass back up into the front row. Here comes Snyder again. Put a wicked curve on one. Able to be returned. Snyder fights it off. This was one that just simply didn't come off her hand how she intended. Right when it did, she turned the opposite way. So I think she kind of knew that was going to end up in her team's bench. Coach Howard Garcia at Tippecanoe, his teams of Vandalia, Butler, Carroll, Chaminade, Julienne, and Bishop Fenwick have made 15 regional appearances, along with a couple of Final Fours and a state title. And if you've got a lady hitting the ball like Snyder is right now, first team all-league pick, this is not hard to describe. Watch the power. Past 4 different players on the replay. Now a 4-2 tip lead. Sydney fights off the point into the net. That play had disaster written on it from the start. Isabel Crow tried to save it. So tip, it didn't look like they weren't going to run away here in the first 4 points. We're up 3-1 now, 4-3. Ball into the back row and down for Wildemuth for the point. It's another just flat out stroked ball right through. Now a 5-3 lead for Tip. They lead 1-0. They've won the last 5 meetings, including one back in August. Fought off all the way into the back row. Gonna have to be returned, and Abby Hughes had to change 3 times how she wanted to hit that. And they call a lift there, they call the double hit for another point. One of those age-old things coaches will tell you, if you get the other team thinking, the worst thing that can happen to them is because if you're thinking, you're not playing. Snyder now obliterates another one. She goes down to the floor. She landed awkwardly. I hope she's all right, but already with that brace on her knee, she had to walk it off. Into the back row now, fought off by the Yellow Jackets. And Abby Nuss off the block. Take a look at how quick this comes. Right back off the hands. And now a 6-4 lead. As the substitution does come in, Faith Bockrath goes to the bench as her team down 6-4. And you'd hope that Snyder is okay, because without her, things like this are going to happen. Rachel Wildemuth with the big smash. Snyder not able to get the full range on that extension. She's still down, you see the left side of the picture, right where the lines meet, trying to figure out how to get back into this one. Up off the fingers, not the way that Peyton Boshears wanted that to go. Ultimately into the net. So 7-4 and now 8-4 in the timeout here in set number 2. It's 8-4 Tip on NKTelco Sports.
PSG, Automotive Outfitters, your truck accessory headquarters.
Here you get a look at the robust Sidney student section. They are pretty much all I can hear for half this contest in my headset, and I'm sitting on the opposite side and high here at Sidney High School. Don't forget, you can also watch these games on WOSN and on demand on the NKTelco Sports Facebook page and at nktelco.net. If you don't like the page, you're missing out. A lot of great games already this season up on their football, soccer, volleyball, and the double hit again. The chair official is not going to give anybody any leeway tonight. And down to the floor. Sometimes your brain wants to help you out, but your feet don't. That's pretty much what happened to Faith Bachrath on that occasion. I don't know if she slipped on the insignia mid-court, but it just seemed like she wanted to go one way. The body wanted to go one way, the brain wanted to go the other way. Service is coming fast and furious. There's another double hit. There's going to be a long conversation about this, I would believe, from Coach Morrow. 11-4, Tip with the lead. Up off the back. I don't even know how Snyder got that one across. Nearly off the back of the hand as the running start for Brooke Osledge will result in the ball going back to the other side on the side out. So 11-5, that's Tip's first lead since they cut into it at 6-4. Or excuse me, Sidney's first point to cut into Tip's lead. Returned by Abby Hughes, the junior, set back up and across as Hughes will get back into place. Ball smashed by McBride on the free ball. Up and across. The double hit now goes the opposite way. And you get the flip of coaches and their expressions. Now to the net, just for an inspection, goes Coach Garcia. As he heads back to where he was standing at. He just wanted to make sure the net was doing all right, I guess. It was in the proper place. Set up for the return was Abby Nuss. Here comes the runner. Up off the fingertips and perfectly placed by Brooke Osledge again. She's going to look at the replay. Watch where she comes from on this bottom side. Just a runner between four players. Now at 12-6. Tip with the lead. Sidney will go to Greenville and Troy Monday and Tuesday before they get Piqua at Butler and home against Greenville, their last handful of games in the regular season. Tournament time is almost upon us. Smacked back across with the right hand for Olivia Newborn and returned quickly down to the floor for a point the other way. Another one of those no looks for Ariel Snyder, or rather for her team, as it just took a split second. 12-7 Tip. And the lack of communication will cost Sidney a point here as the substitutions for Tip brings in Corinne Seifring. Long runner for Brooke Osledge. Return nearly back to her, but dropped in front. Darian McBride with the kill. Watch her come up here and just play this perfectly and confidently. It's pretty simple. Hit it where they're not. One side of the student section is the service error, puts point 14 on the board for Tip. One side is chanting yes, the other is chanting no. Wasn't for a point or anything, they were just randomly chanting it right before the ball went in the air. Big Daniel Bryan fans here at Sidney and at Tippecanoe. Comes Osledge out of the back row again, and just a laser across to Abby Nuss. Nuss cannot return it. And a return error gives a 15-8 lead. Young ladies for the homecoming court are excited across the way. trying to get the football team into it as he double block again. Wildermuth just comes up and uses her 6-foot frame to knock one down. She and Corinne Seifring make a formidable duo up at the net. Set at the net, and I'm surprised that wasn't a kill. Just as hard as that one was hit by Wildermuth. Return not able to happen. Tip with a 17-8 lead as now Abby Hughes continues to serve. It'll be at Bellbrook on Saturday for Tippecanoe. Remaining, they've got a handful of teams that only one of them has beaten them. It's now an 18-8 lead. There's a quick block down to the floor and the timeout. First National Bank scoreboard says Tip 18, Sidney 8 here on NKTelco Sports.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
Just to the right of this shot, you can see the brain trust of the football team. They've got a plan coming out of it. Now, whether it's the same plan that the volleyball team has remains to be seen. As you get a look at at the coaches on each side throughout the course of this, you can tell they love this environment, but it's probably more so for Tip right now as they lead 18-8 in 1-0. All put across by Kindle. Center of the net from the right side, down to the floor. Chasing it is Boshears to keep it alive. She'll put it back up at the net. Left-handed dink, she will keep it alive again. She's made two terrific plays in this contest. As there's the big hit to put an end to that from Rachel Wildermuth. So 19-8, and it's always a shame, again, depending on who you're rooting for, but it's always a shame from my perspective of when a kid makes 2 or 3 terrific plays to save a point, that they don't end up winning that point. 19-8 as the Let's Go Jackets chant breaks out from the opposite side of the gymnasium. And Tippecanoe has won the last 5 in this series, including here the last 2 times. And the double hit on Corinne Seifring breaks a string of 6 straight points that went in Tip's column. So 19-9. 20-15 through the first 35 points in set 1. And blocked at the net. Rachel Wildermuth gets the better of Ariel Snyder. Snyder just didn't get that extension off the jump. I'm not trying to speculate that something's wrong with her, just I watched her go down earlier. But she didn't get that same spring she did when she picked up a handful of kills in set 1. Now she'll push one across. And into no man's land off the return. It'll land in for a point. So 20-10. Nice dig out on the return, but the point will go for point 21. For a second, I didn't believe which way that was going to go. That ball was so quick that I'll be honest, I didn't see it with my own eyes which side it came down on. 21-10 Tip. That's why we have the Winners Quality Meets replays. So 21-10, Snyder tried to, again, push off of that right leg. Just didn't find anything there. 22-10. Not getting that full-out extension like she did earlier on. Down to the floor for the ace goes Caitlin Husick, the sophomore, into serve now for Tippecanoe as they lead at 23-10, and they feel like It's probably just a matter of moments until they can close this second set out. Up across with the right hand. Again, Snyder able to get the break that time. But the return, Brooke Oslich got even higher. First team All-League pick a year ago and proven it here why she probably will be again. So set point. Sydney fought it off in set one for a point. So one of their returns went long. Comes the runner out of the back row for Elena Titley. Pushed back now to her and dug out by a teammate. Oslich cross court looking for that point to close this set out. Elena Kendall says not yet. At the net, there's the point. Up and down off a handful of fingers for Wildermuth. And set two comes to end with Tip now on top. 2-0 on the First National Bank scoreboard here on Sydney's home turf on NKTelco Sports.
At Minster Bank, we understand that life can get hectic. That's why when it comes to your banking, we offer the services that make your life simpler with tools like person-to-person payments, Pop Money, mobile and online banking, and bill pay. But most of all, Minster Bank is a supportive member of your community with personal relationships and customer service that reach outside of our branches. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
At CAPT, we use hometown opportunity to make sure that when we have a position open within the facility, it gets put on the website.
We've really been excited to see how that has grown so much over the last several years.
If anyone is looking for a job, it's the best place to go.
We really want to do whatever we can to get folks that are from this community back to this area.
I would recommend any manufacturing company that they take a look at it. It's a very good benefit for companies at no cost.
Trust us. NKTelco, a small-town company with a big focus on customer service. We build business the old-fashioned way.
Trust us to be your internet provider.
Trust us to help you find the right cable package for your viewing needs.
Trust us to answer your questions any time of the day.
Trust NKTelco to be on call. Deliver and make sure your service is tailored to meet your needs.
We serve commercial and residential customers to meet their communication needs. Trust us at NKTelco.
Trust us!
Welcome back here to Sydney. Let's take a look at the First National Bank scoreboard. 25-19, 25-10 for the Red Devils of Tippecanoe. 9-1 in the GWalk in the North. Sydney at 6-3 in the league. 11-5 overall. Tippecanoe, it actually kind of surprises me this week when the polls came out that they're not ranked. They sit at 14-2. You get Piqua, Greenville, Troy, and Butler. Already, everybody but Troy was a win. Troy actually gave Tippecanoe their first loss of the season. They'll take on that set of squads to begin the month of October after they take on Bellbrook at Bellbrook on Saturday afternoon. Team's getting ready for set 3. And it will be Sydney serving now. A little hesitation from Faith Backrath. Tries to draw up off a couple of players. The replay is going to tell an interesting story. This point's going to go to Sydney. Watch where this one lands. Just down the line. So they take a 1-0 lead. It's the first time that they've had that happen, where they've been on top through the first point. Of course, in the exact way that the first set went, we end up tied at 1-1. Sydney gave Tip a heck of a battle in set 1. The first 14 points, there were 7 ties. At every other number, we were tied. Just after that, though, Tippecanoe went on a run to send it out to 12-7, and it just kind of stayed that way. As the loft shot across from Corinne Seifring. Back to the libero in Abby Hughes. Brooke Oslich nearly obliterates that volleyball. Would have had a Patriot situation. See how much air is still left in it. A little bit off that shot for Seifring. Up off her palm. Good rally on both sides. And a return long for Emily Graham. Puts Sydney back up on top. They lead 2-1. This is just the 4th point, actually the 5th point now, that they have led in the 3 sets, and add another to it as the double hit that were going on at Tippecanoe early are now going against the Red Devils. Sydney on top 3-1, and a ball fired into the net from a probably too high Peyton Bowe-Shears, number 10 of the G-Walk with 32 aces. What's crazy about that is, at 32 aces, there are only a couple of spots ahead of her. Everybody's pretty much in that same 30, 35, 40 range. And up off the antenna goes Ariel Snyder's shot. We're tied now at 3. So second tie of this 3rd set. And put into it by Elena Titley. Now up at the net, kind of a free ball, rolls back down on both sides. I'll say that was tipped, and it'll be Oslich putting the right hand into it. At the net, Snyder with the left for the winner. Sheer speed and power on display here. Watch her come back out of the middle row, reset, and then blow one right past Abby Hughes. 4-3 is Sydney's lead. Hughes has to fight off another one. And the dunk attempt for Isabel Crow goes awry. Sydney on top 5-3. Miss Crow, she's a smart girl. As a senior, just back in February when she was a junior then, won the Schilling Award, a science award for microbiology, and she's going to need to use her smarts to argue. Well, apparently she won't have to argue that this one stays in, as the picture pretty much speaks for itself. It is going to be Elena Kindle who will have to feel the wrath of the chair. The end of that conversation, I can tell you, was okay, as I believe that it is going to be Kindle who will have to relay. As you're going to look, watch this replay. Ian's doing a terrific job getting to these shots. Watch where this goes. I think the argument is right about here, right before that it might have hit her, and that's what the chair official was trying to explain. Whether that's true or not is a different story. Down to the floor, and the return nearly into the student section, ran over a couple of soccer kids. And it is now a 5-5 score. But that is maybe one of the closest replays you're going to see. I saw it 5 times, and I saw it live, and I still don't know how to judge that. I have a straight look down, and they're trying to, I think they're going to make the kids sit down.
All students must be in the stands, not on the floor.
I'm a big wrestling fan, and it's kind of akin to when a manager gets kicked out for being too close or interfering with the action. I think they didn't want to, they're going to claim safety, but I guarantee the young man up on the shoulders of the other kid is probably not going to be there for long. Never seen a crowd get ejected from a match. It might happen. Tip with the point off of Hughes's infraction. Or excuse me, Sydney rather with a point off the tip infraction. I'm so caught up in the goings on in the crowd right now, I don't know what to do. Ball nearly Hughes chasing into the hallway, and 4 hits, you're not allowed. Back-to-back points now for Sydney coming out of that 5-5 tie. And TV does not properly illustrate to you how loud it is in this building. Allie Herrick, the senior, 3rd in the G-Walk in aces, gives a point away on the air. 7-6 as the ball rolls across the wall and behind the basketball net. Should get a look at the Winners Quality Meats replay. Watch it just bounce off the wall. I kind of wanted to see it curve over and go in the basket. But alas, we're tied at 7, fourth tie of this third set. Same way we were before. I don't think they would count that as a three-pointer, but it would be interesting to see with this crowd how that would go, as another Yellow Jacket point on a return error by Tip. So 8-7 is the lead for Sidney. I don't feel like right now that the chair official would be giving out any extra points. Could just be me. Ball into the net, Tip somehow able to fight that one off. Olivia Newborn up at the net, redirected off the shot from Abby Nuss. Now at the net comes back to Sidney. Snyder dinked one off the top, but another heads-up play by Olivia Newborn. Back the opposite way and off the fingers comes Darian McBride, the sophomore. Check this one out on the replay. This goes about 15 hits on each side and then just straight up and down in front of the back row. 9-7 is Sidney's lead on the First National Bank scoreboard. Blocked to the net, and McBride has taken this ball game over in this third set. Watch her right there in the middle with a black headband and the ponytail, and it dropped just inside of the chase. Sidney on top, 10-7. Snyder doing the services. Kind of a high strike, but a low line drive. And off of a Sidney player. I believe that's going to be McBride again. Watch her here in the middle, up off her hands, and down for a tip point. 10-8 Sidney. Biggest lead they've had at 3, and the ace in front of Kendall could not put her fingers down underneath or where that ball was headed. Isabel Crow, the senior, 28 aces coming into today, puts her in the top 25 in the league, but dejected both Herrick and Kendall. We're now tied at 10 apiece. Fifth tie of this third set. Nobody wants that ball right now. Coach Morrow is, she's not happy about it, despite the fact that it gave her team a point. Just kicked it away. I don't need that. And the confirm of that call. They're going to say this is in. It looked out for my eyes. It is. That still looks out to me on the replay. The chair official overrode it. Well, now they put it the other way. So I think the floor official might have overridden him. Tied at 11. Ball into the Tippecanoe bench. Reballed back across by Abby Hughes. There have been a lot of don't trust your eye moments in these games. Sent back across. This point should have been won 3 or 4 times. And it is. A little flip of the hand by Ashley Duong for the Yellow Jackets. Watch this. Nobody's getting to this ball. So now 12-11 is Sidney's lead. Sent here on the long runner early in this ball game. It's Brooke Osledge who kind of took over. Going back to Hughes. Back set just inside the pin, up off the hands of Cassidy Truesdale, the freshman, getting some work here in set 3 in a 1-point contest. She'll be up at the net and just inside the corner again. The workout machine's getting a replay today. Or the replay machine's getting a workout, whatever you want to do. It's just off the corner of that. Trust me, that was in. Tied at 12. See what happened? The action's so fast and furious, I can't even talk straight. 2 sets of teams putting on a heck of a performance here. Tip ultimately on top 2-0 on the First National Bank scoreboard. And down to, thanks to plays like that, Corinne Seifring gives her team a 13-12 lead. That'll be Brooke Osledge back to serve after this Abby Hughes back to serve. Osage went back like she was going to do it. Bumped back up towards the net and blocked on the way by. Emily Graham. This is just one player making an outstanding play. She's the only one on that side, and everybody out of sorts the other way around. 14-12, largest lead for Tip in this third set as they add a 15th point. And a timeout is upcoming. Here it is, a 15-12 lead for Tippecanoe here on NKTelco Sports in set 3.
Schwiedemann Pharmacies began serving the people of Auglaize County in 1916 when Urban Schwiedemann purchased the building and business from J.H. Hoffman. The New Bremen location is one of the longest-running pharmacies in the country, with over 110 years of serving its patrons. Since then, 4 more stores have been added: Coldwater, St. Mary's, Minster, and Wapakoneta to round out the group. Our services include prescription refills, home medical equipment, nursing home services, customized compounded medication, vaccinations, and so much more.
Student section has a meeting between every point. They're down 15-12 right now. Today's game brought to you by Minster Dental Care, along with Francis Furniture, Wilson Health, Caring Without Limits, Precision Strip, NKT.TV, also by BowlerStore.com, and the folks at Carriage Works. They specialize in collision repair in St. Henry. We've had a couple of times where we've needed that, as the ball cut back across off the hands of Kendall. Kendall now with a return to the opposite side for Brooke Oslich, and blocked at the net for the point for Sydney on the 4th hit. Let's take a look at the Winners Quality Meets replay. Today's game also brought to you by Cy Schwiedemann and Fowler's TV, where we service what we sell. And a mistake. Just Rachel Woldermuth wanted to obliterate that one into next week. Kind of mistimed it on her way. As now the student section for Sydney with the yes chant. It'll quickly go back to no as the service into the net. 16-14 Tip now in set 3 as they try to close this out. A name you know and a name you trust, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, also bringing you today's game, along with PSG Automotive Outfitters and Minster Bank, financial solutions for a lifetime. Both shears up out of the back row and just inside the corner. A beautiful shot. You'll see here on the replay, you know it's got to be good when you drop it in front and nearly hit the flag. See her take a step back. It's probably a good idea. 16-15 Tip now, and a chance to draw even, but another service error, this one from Elena Kindle. 17-15. Today's game also brought to you by Hometown Opportunity, connecting local companies with local talent. New Knoxville Supply and Schwiedemann Pharmacy. Pharmacy is located in Salina, Coldwater, Minster, De Bremen, St. Mary's, and Wapakoneta. There's another big point here. These are just power points. 3 waiting at the net. And the block falls straight down for Sydney to stay within 1 at 17-16. And as it has been for the last 3 points that Sydney has scored, they followed up a terrific winner with a service error. Replays today brought to you by Winners Meats, quality meats for 90 years. Quality replays all night long, even if I can't correctly tell you what happened. And another double hit. If I had to guess, that is about 10 or 12 double hits in this game on both sides, as it's 18-17 now. Service comes from right to left. Big hitters blocked at the net. Try again. If it ain't gonna work the first time, it might work the second time. Big swing right down through the middle. Everybody just stood and watched it. Brooke Oslich with the point. 19-17 at Tip. Izzy Crow doing the serving now as they block again. Tried to just shove it out of the way. The block between Morgan Cundiff and Emily Graham just ends up in front of them. So Sidney hanging in there, but the problem is they're running out of time. 19-18. Now 19-19. So they pulled even. First time they've been able to pull that off of consecutive points in quite a while. So you got to go back to 12-11 to make that happen. Boshears with it, fading back is Kindle cross court. Tied at 19 in set 3. Up off the hands for the winner. Osledge again fought off the double block. Tip with a 20-19 lead. You see it there on the replay. We'll have our NKTelco player of the game coming up as well when this one's done. There are a lot of quality candidates. Pushed down to the floor, that one too. And Abby Hughes right in the running. The pull away and the redirect. Watch, everything comes to the left. Right back up there, go and go again. Hughes had to drop back into the middle row. And Sidney gets point 20. So we're tied for the 7th time. And just that quickly untied. 6 of those 7 have come with the guests immediately taking a point back. This one wasn't fancy, it was just powerful. So 1 point lead as we get into the 20s. Dinked across, right there waiting for it is Izzy Crow. Off to the right side, off a handful of players, and Abby Nuss sends her teammates sprawling into the bench. 22-20. A more immediate concern is where Elena Kindle ended up landing. She hit hard, looked like into the knees of a teammate. Can't really afford not to have her on the floor. She's a gamer. As the student section goes back into the crowd. They didn't take the advice earlier to stay off the floor too hard, apparently. The timeout will come for Sidney. They will look at Elena Kindle. It is 22-20 tip here in set 3 on NKTelco Sports.
New Knoxville Supply Company, the supply source for residential, commercial, and industrial jobs. We specialize in plumbing products from many name brands, electrical products from replacing a light switch to rewiring an entire house, heating, air conditioning, and geothermal products, sheet metal ductwork, installations, and service. We are now housing more inventory, so all the hardware items you need to complete the job are available right away. New Knoxville Supply. Stop in, call, or check us out online at newknoxvillesupply.com.
Another huddle between plays during a timeout. I'm not really sure what this gives you, but it maybe is you're trying to get a mental advantage. They're into it, if nothing else. You see the wave now in the background. It's better than closing rides at Kings Island. 22-20 is the lead as Abby Hughes waits back. She was not impressed. So can I go now? Blocked to the net, sent back across, pushed to Hughes as she fights it off from Faith Bockrath. Now on the swing, Abby Nuss puts it in play. And here's the test. How high can you get up if you're Elena Kindle? Apparently far enough to set up that point. 22-21 on another mistake by Tip. Both teams talked about wanting to limit mental errors. Say their coaching staff's probably not going to be all that thrilled when they watch this one back. The hard shot, the reaction from Ariel Snyder. It's kind of what are we going to do here? 23-21. Tip with the lead, now entering the zone of match point. Then get one more, then get to that point as Elena Titley now with the ball in her hand for the serves. 4 players for the Red Devils, nearly in the same spot. Titley puts it back across. Here comes Snyder. And she got the point. You can judge for yourself on this on the back line. I thought live, I must have hit the line. I thought live it was going to be a 50-50 call. smarter people than me, the better vantage point, say it's split the line. 23-22 now, and there's point 24. That big swinging gate was open for Rachel Wildermuth. And we've reached now match point. Watch, here she comes. And there goes the ball right over Peyton Boshear's head. Tip now with match point. They'll make a substitution to bring in Caitlin Husick. Sidney trying to raise the noise level to fight it off. Boshears sends it into the front row. There's Snyder with a big left hand. Able to get back to it as Husick again, who just came in. And up over the head, free ball across by Osledge. Now at the net, up back to Brooke again. There's the winner inside the line. 25-22. And a 3-set win as you get a look at this. Look how high her jump was and dropped it just in front of Coach Morrow. So a 3-0 win for Tippecanoe on the First National Bank scoreboard. We'll take a break and finish up when we come back here on NKTelco Sports.
NKTelco Sports. More than 140 local high school and college games. Football, basketball, volleyball, baseball, softball, and soccer. Support your local team with NKTelco Sports and promote your business to 250,000 households in Northwest Ohio. Call 1-888-NKTelco and get in the game.
Minster Dental Care continues to offer advanced dental technology in a state-of-the-art facility. Our professional team offers experience in general dentistry and orthodontics, including services such as CERA and wireline orthodontics. Board-certified pediatric dentist Dr. Philip Slonkowski ensures our littlest patients have a positive, safe, and a comfortable experience. We are unconditionally committed to excellence in everything we do.
The big game is right around the corner. Are you ready for it? Come into Francis Furniture and find the right fit for you and your friends in our Lazy Boy Comfort Studio. With Lazy Boy Premier sofa and sectionals, you can custom order a look that's just your style. Choose from hundreds of decorator fabrics or choose genuine leather for its luxurious feel and durability. Come into Francis Furniture today, the area's only Lazy Boy Comfort Studio.
There you see the scores on the First National Bank scoreboard. 25-19, 25-10, 25-22. As the Red Devils get to 15-2 overall, they go to 10-1 in Greater Western Ohio Conference play. Sidney drops to 11-6 overall and 6-4 in league contests. Really, Sidney came in having won 8 of their last 9 matches. They were in it early on. There were 7 ties to the first 14 points, but it was just a barrage of tip points. They had, as you get a look at replays throughout the course of this one, there were points in bunches and just 1 or 2 points at a time for Sidney. They fell 25-19 in the first set, came back out. Tip went on a run to start. It just kind of ended up that way. Many, many more points. No point outside of an 11-6 back-to-back point set for Sidney that they were able to do that. They lost 25-10 in set 2, and then despite battling in set 3 and even leading 1 point as late as 12-11, the game was even at 19 all. Just too much tip, as it has been and now 6 straight times in play. Don't forget, you can watch these games on WOSN and on demand on the NKTelco Sports Facebook page at nktelco.net. Got the player of the game for today, our NKTelco Sports player of the game, Abby Hughes, the junior libero for Tippecanoe. You see her there in the red jersey. Did just a tremendous job throughout the course of these 3 sets of facilitating as the libero and just setting up so many things, making it easy for the big hitters, Corinne Seifring, Rachel Wildermuth, and Brooke Osledge, the 3 in front of her. And for that reason, she is our NKTelco Sports player of the game. Tonight's game brought to you by the Minster Bank, along with Schwieterman Pharmacy, Keyhole Pizza, New Knoxville Supply, Minster Dental Care, along with Hometown Opportunity and Francis Furniture, Wilson Health, Precision Strip, Winners Meats, NKTelco and NKT.TV, BowlerStore.com, CarriageWorks, Cy Schwieterman Incorporated, Fowler's TV, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, PSG Automotive Outfitters, and the First National Bank bringing you coverage of tonight's game. In the truck, our director and Scott Robinson and our assistant in Ryan Gossard. Ian Bolhammer bringing you the shots for today. And again, a 3-set win for Tip, 25-19, 25-10, 25-22. My name is Mike Hearn. Have a great night from all of us here in Sydney and NK Telco Sports.